Finally, the rain has let off slightly. Clearly not the ideal conditions to be driving an all-new car. But still I'm excited because I'll be finally driving this, the Kia Seltos. Now this car has a lot of strong rivals. You have the Tata Harrier, which is stylish and rugged. Then you have the MG Hector, which is all about tech and is loaded with features. Then you have the Hyundai Creta, which is a safe buy. Could the Seltos be an ideal mix of all these three? Let's get cracking. The Seltos might not have the size of the Tata Harrier, still Kia has done a good job of making it look imposing enough. The face of the Seltos is dominated by LEDs, be it the headlamps, fog lamps or even the indicators. The highlights are the daytime running lamps as they extend almost to the center of the grille, which makes the Seltos look wider than it is. The signature Kia grille too is tastefully finished, as the hexagonal mesh and the knurled finish on the chrome strip looks top-notch. In profile, the flared wheel arches, the sloping roofline and the strong shoulder line helps it look like a proper SUV. In our opinion, the Seltos' best angle is the rear. The combination of the bulging boot lid, the chrome strip that runs across, strong haunches and the wraparound LED tail lamps makes the car look athletic yet elegant. With the GT line, you get some cosmetic differences to make the Seltos look cooler. The 17-inch alloy wheels have a sharper design. You get cool red painted brake calipers. There are red accents added to the grille, doors and on the rear bumper. You also get a GT line logo on the grille and the boot lid. Like the exteriors of the Seltos, even the interiors impresses. Sure, the design is an original. For example, the upper portion where the screen is inspired from a Mercedes-Benz E-Class, and when you go lower down, there are Audi cues, especially around the air vents and the aircon controls. But when you put it all together, it actually looks quite modern and elegant. Both in the GT line and the Tech line, you get beige and all black color options. Where the Tech line low variants get black fabric seats, the top HTX variant will get beige leather upholstery. The GT line on the other hand will have an option of black leather seats with contrasting red stitching or dual-tone black and beige leather upholstery. The pattern of the upholstery too differs in the Tech and GT line. Another nice touch are the dual-tone carpets with triangular pattern which adds to the overall ambience. When it comes to quality, sure you don't get any soft touch plastic, but the graining looks premium and the touches like the metal finish on the steering wheel controls and the gear lever looks top notch. Even the leather wrapped panel on the dashboard adds to the upmarket feeling. The power driver seat of the Seltos are well contoured with good lateral support that helps the driver stay in place. The front passenger seat though is placed a bit low. So in the backseat of the Kia Seltos, clearly as you can see, you don't have as much knee room as say you get in the MG Hector or the Tata Harrier, but on its own it's quite good. Under thigh support though is not that great because the seat is quite low. But other than that, you have nice elements like you get sun blind, which you don't get in any other car in this segment. Then also the seat reclines, the seat backrest reclines. So the backseat experience in the Seltos is quite soothing. The Seltos has loads of storage spaces on the inside. Even the boot at 433 liters is large enough. The 60-40 split folding rear seats fold flat, which adds to the practicality quotient. Because of the two trim levels and various variants on the Seltos, the features list is actually quite confusing. But especially in the top variants, the Seltos is very well loaded. Now, which variant will get what features will exactly be known on the 22nd of August when the Seltos will be launched. But going on the top variants which we had on the drive, the Seltos will be very well loaded. The diesel variant which comes in Tech line came with UVO connected car tech, 10.25-inch touchscreen system, air purifier with perfume diffuser, ambient lighting, electric sunroof, ventilated front seats, an 8-speaker Bose sound system, front parking sensors and dual front airbags. The GT line on the other hand adds curtain airbags, 8-inch heads-up display and a 360-degree camera with blind view monitor. ESP and drive modes though are only available on the petrol DCT variant. Like the numerous trim levels and variants, you also get as many as 3 engine options and 6 different transmission options. Another thing to consider is the fact that all the engine options are BS6 compliant. According to Kia, these engines will work just fine with the current BS4 fuel, and they have tested all these engines for over 1 lakh kilometers with the current fuel. We got behind the wheel of the 1.4 GDI turbo petrol and the 1.5 litre turbo diesel. We drove both the manual and automatic transmissions of both these engine options. If you want a Seltos with lively performance, you should go for the 1.4 GDI petrol manual variant because this engine has loads of grunt. It pulls from as low as 1500 RPM and goes all the way to 7000 RPM rev limiter without any problem. Even when you tone it all down at low speeds, this engine feels at home. It doesn't judder, it pulls smoothly from low RPM, and be it in the city, highway or while driving fast, this engine really works. But the most popular gearbox option with this engine will be the automatic, the 7-speed DCT. There's good news and bad news. The good news is it is a quick shifting gearbox, it downshifts quickly, and even the upshifts are quite smooth. At low speeds, the car tends to lunge forward and you always have to be on the brake or the accelerator while driving at low speeds. Then there's the gearbox, which tends to get a bit confused when you're doing around 20 to 30 kilometers an hour, where it keeps shifting unnecessarily. You also get 3 driving modes: Eco, Normal and Sport with the automatic petrol option. In Eco mode, this car feels the best when you're driving at low speeds, where the engine feels smoother and even the gear shifts are more relaxed. While in Sport mode, the engine is always on the boil, it's at a higher RPM and it's best when you're trying to enjoy this car. And the normal mode works well when you're cruising on the highway or driving at sedate speeds. Clearly the petrol 7-speed DCT isn't the smoothest, but what about the diesel auto? Does it feel any different? If you want a smooth automatic, you should go for the diesel because the torque converter is smooth, it has jerk-free gear shift, but even when you need extra performance, say while overtaking, it downshifts really well and gives you jerk-free performance. Even the manual transmission on the diesel is not that bad. The gear shifts are nice and slick, the clutch is on the lighter side, so even when you're driving in stop-and-go traffic, your left leg won't feel sore. And also with this transmission option, you can feel the smooth power delivery of this engine. Yes, it doesn't have the engine capacity of the Harrier or the Hector, but not even once you will feel in need of more power because right from the word go, from as low as 1500 RPM, this engine pulls really well. There's a strong mid-range and the refinement of this engine is actually quite good. If you want your Seltos to be a soothing companion, then the diesel engine variant is the one to go for. But if it's performance or driving fun you're after, the turbo petrol is a no-brainer. You also get a 1.5 litre naturally aspirated petrol with either a 6-speed manual or a CVT transmission. Because of the weather conditions, we weren't really able to push the car hard, but in terms of handling, the Seltos doesn't feel really sporty, especially the steering, it's vague, and even when we drove the automatic with different driving modes, with different steering weights, it actually just added weight without really giving you more feedback. So the Seltos isn't exactly sporty, but it does feel planted and predictable. Apart from the strong engine options, the Kia Seltos has a pliant ride quality. At low speeds, you feel some of the sharper stuff where you can hear the suspension working, but it never gets uncomfortable, and as the speed rises, the ride gets flatter, and as a long distance car, the Kia Seltos makes for a really good car. After spending the whole day with the Kia Seltos, clearly it has a great mix of style, tech and comfort. Plus when you add the various engine and gearbox options and the trim levels, plus the variants, there's a Kia Seltos for everyone. The only question remains is the price, which we'll know on the 22nd of August. And if Kia gets the price right, they definitely have a winner on their hands.